Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Take a million. We're opening up a pack of Ravnica Remastered. Ah, yeah. Let's see if it was worth it this time. Spoiler alert, it totes was. I made more money from this pack than I did spending it. Although, Canadian money isn't really worth all that much, is it? This video is not sponsored by CardKingdom.com because it takes too goddamn long for them to send me my shit. I hate you, CardKingdom.com. International shipping's awful. Alright, Blade brand. For a 2 mana cost to give your creature Death Touch and draw a card is sick. Personally, I would add this to, let's say you got a wiener who's attacking, and you're like, wiener, I'm going to attack with my wiener. And the guy's like, that's not suspect. I'll block with my 5/6. Take that, wiener. And you're like, you activated my trap card. And by that I mean an instant, because we're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And then booyah! The Death Touch with first strike. You have to forgive the cat in the background. You got the sneezels. Alright. This was good. And draw a card on top of it. I like that. A nice touch. Let's keep going. For 1 cent, that wasn't bad. Next, we have Dimir Houseguard. Fear. If you're not familiar with Fear, this creature can't be blocked except by artifact creatures and or black creatures. What's that supposed to mean? So, you can sacrifice a creature and bring this guy back. Then you can transmute, which, if you watch Full Metal Alchemist, you know what image came in your head right away. So you discard this card, which means this has to be in your hand. Search your library for a card with the same mana value as this card and reveal it. Put it in your hand and shuffle. Transmute only as a sorcery. I guess it's handy. Say you don't want a 2/3 dumb-looking guy, and you want someone a little heavy or heavier. Yeah, it's not bad, but I mean it has a lot of stuff going on for 4 mana and common. This would be great for Pauper, maybe. Let's keep going. You'll see on my left thumbnail, there's a crack. It's been there for 3 years. So I keep catching it on stuff. Here we have Wojek Bodyguard. A human soldier, 3/3 for 3 mana. That's pretty good. However, he cannot attack or block alone. Drawback. But giving one of your wieners on your team a +1/+1 counter is pretty handy. Unfortunately, it's only if the attacking creature is less power than you. So, yeah, you have to beef him up so you can keep beefing up the other ones. It's kind of like playing catch up. I don't know. Let's keep going. I like the art for this one. Oh, I think we're too close to Honda's crotch. Here we go.
Assassin.
Oof. I don't know why I can hear that. I turn my volume down. Alright, Thrill Kill Assassin, as I said in the video. Death Touch. Unleash. You may have this creature. Yeah, enter the battlefield with a 1/1 counter. It can't block as long as it has a 1/1 counter on it. A 2/3 Death Touch sounds pretty good, even if it can't block. Although, having a Death Touch being able to block lets them not want to attack. But anyways, it's not bad. A lot of Death Touch in this pack. Next, let's put it down. Repeal. Return target non-land permanent with mana value of X to its owner's hand. Draw a card. Well, that's not that bad. I didn't write anything else about it. I mean, it's like having a... It's like, I lost this guy, and then boom, he comes back. I don't know. Blue has never been my favorite color. This one's worth 6 cents. It's the most expensive one to date. Here we have Eyes in the Skies. An instant. It costs 4. Like, that's a pretty steep cost. Create a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying. Then populate. Now, for some of you, I know what you're thinking. And no, bringing your significant other to a Magic the Gathering match, although could be fun, that's not what populate means. You create a token that's a copy of a creature token you control. It's only a copy of a token. So basically 2 1/1 birds, or if you have a better token than that. I thought it was a copy of a creature. I misrepresented that when I wrote my notes down. This one is 1 cent. Let's keep going. Here we have Vidalcan Mesmerist, the Blue Man Crew. A 2/1 for 2. Whenever this card attacks target creature an opponent controls, gets -2, which is very handy. Well, I'll just block with my 1/1. You could. You could. This one was 6 cents. Next one, Sprouting Renewal. I like these when you have 2 choices, because sometimes one choice is more handy than the next, and Convoke is always great. If you're not familiar with Convoke, is that you can tap your creatures to help pay for the price of this sorcery. However, 3 isn't very steep a cost, so choose one. You can either create a 2/2 green and white Elf Knight creature token with Vigilance. Vigilance, for those of you not familiar, is that when it attacks, it does not tap, so that you can use it to block next turn. Very handy. Or destroy target artifact or enchantment. You're thinking, I'll never need to do that. You've never been up against someone with Ghostly Prison. Ghostly Prison is an enchantment that makes you have to pay 2 mana to attack with each creature. So you want to attack with 4 creatures, it's going to cost you 8 mana. A waste of mana if you ask me. Let's keep going. Here we are, Glowspore Shaman, or as my son would say, Shaman. And I understand. When Glowspore Shaman enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards, which I hate doing. I hate that. I'm like, you may put a land card from the graveyard on top of your library. So I guess it's kind of a ramp, or gives you a for sure next turn is a land, especially if you really need it. 3/1, that's not bad. For 2, multicolored, and the art's great. And her boobs are pretty big, considering that this is post 2015, and from Wizards of the Coast, all that woke stuff. So, anyways, ain't bad. That was a 2-cent card. Here we have, if I forgive the pronunciation, Azorius Guildmage. Now, when I first saw this, I'm like, 3 to tap to do something? That's expensive. But when you're tapping a target creature, that is useful. That could be the make or break of whether or not you will win. And that's happened to me so many times when tapping a creature came in handy. Or counter target activated ability. Very good too. And for 2, 2/2, 2/2, this is a pretty damn good card. Uncommon. I love the Azorius emblem. It looks really cool. This one was 6 cents. Night Veil Predator, Flying Death Touch and Hexproof, 3/3. This card is a dick. That's what I wrote for my notes. Dick card, 8 cents. Hey, come on. You bring this out, and now Flying and Death Touch. And you can't use any burns or removals or nothing. But the price is pretty steep. For 3/3 that has something. Death Touch on top of it. You throw in First Strike on this thing. Oof. It's a powerhouse. Oh, for those who are not familiar, Hexproof, and I'll cover this another time. Hexproof means that you cannot, like it says, you cannot be targeted of any abilities or spells that your opponent controls. However, you cannot be targeted for any abilities that you want to put on. Hexproof is almost a double-edged sword sometimes, but it's more of a saving grace than anything else. Someone tries to hit you with a... however, there are spells that can attack it. If there's spells that have no target, but it says all creatures, this is... Hexproof doesn't stop. And I'll continue now. I know it's hexproof and protection is very... It's cool, but it's really annoying. Here is a great card. I'll get my finger out of the way so you can see it's a 2/2. Thumbs up. My toe thumbs up. Gutter Snipe. Very good card. This is great for burn decks. I'm building a burn commander deck, which I thought was impossible. But no, it's actually possible. And this one helps. So you use any spell, instant or sorcery. Booyaka Shot. This is 2 damage to each opponent. Not just one person. Everybody gets 2. And this one is actually pretty cheap. This is a 16-cent card. This is the most expensive card to date in this pack. But, I mean, 16 cents. Come on, guys. Let's keep going. I like burns. This one I had to look up. Cloudstone Curio. Whenever a non-artifact permanent enters the battlefield under your control, you may return another permanent you control that shares that permanent type with its owner's hand. I had to look at it. I'm like, who wants this? Why would you want this? This is what you want this with something like, what did I write? Alurin. For an infinite enter and leave battlefield triggers. Because there are creatures that you have that could have gain +1/+1 anytime someone leaves the battlefield, anytime someone comes in the battlefield. This is helpful for a combo for getting that to increase. We're going to go into that combo in more detail another time. This is actually the card that puts over the worth of this pack. This is a $10 card. It's a mythic rare. But like, I even say it in here. What do I need this for? Art's okay. Here we go. A Golgari Guildgate. Not a Shockland. Shocklands are actually worth a lot in this one. My second pack I got of Ravnica, I got Overgrown Tomb. This style of border, but without the mana written on it, and it was a foil. It's worth $60. This one is worth 14 cents. It's a double land, enters tapped, nothing special. You could throw that in one of your decks that you'd use those 2 colors. The art's nice too, though. I mean, look. I like these retro borders, but I like the newer cards too. It's nice to look at every once in a while, but I'd rather not all my cards look like that. And Orzhov Signet. That is just a ramp card worth 3 cents. The total of this deck was $10.94. So that means all the other cards outside Cloudstone Curio were worth 94 cents. All the other cards didn't even make $1. The first one was 1. The Dimir House Guard was 4 cents. Blade Brand was 1 cent. Wojek was 1 cent. Thrill Killed Assassin was 3 cents. Repealed was 6 cents. Eyes in the Sky 1. Vidalkin Mesmerist was 6. Sprouting Renewal was 2. Glow Spore Shaman was 2. Azorius Guildmage was 6. Night Veil Predator was 8. Gutter Snipe was 16. Cloudstone was $10. Golgari Guildgate was 14 cents. And this is 3 cents. So yeah, I made my money back in a little bit. Am I selling any of these cards? Nope. When it's ridiculously overpriced, I will, but this I won't. So that's it. If you enjoyed this, obviously smash the subscribe button and leave some like notifications. Don't forget to go to your local gaming shop to buy all your stuff, and if you can't, Amazon. And definitely not Card Kingdom, those bastards. If you don't live in the States, maybe it's better, but in Canada, it's just not worth it.